As part of the 3-title headline on the Romero-Garcia card, fans will play witness to another incredible clash of styles. This will be Devin Haney and Jose Ramirez, both squaring off in a 12-round welterweight bout, which should be contested at 147 pounds. It will almost certainly be one of the most anticipated fights, with both entering with completely different styles. The fight will see the relentless pressure and iron will of Martinez trying to navigate the masterful tactician and clean boxer in Devin Haney. Both fighters have excellent records, and this will definitely make for an interesting contest. But who has the advantage? And why will this fight possibly steal the show? In the last 5 fights, both contestants have a decent record. However, Haney remains undefeated, despite going down 3 times to Ryan Garcia in 2024. Even with Garcia walking away as the victor, the fight would later be reversed and called as a no contest when Garcia tested positive for banned substances. However, Haney had 4 impressive showings before the Garcia fight, managing to defend his lightweight titles regardless of who was put before him. Unfortunately, these fights are never pretty and always seem to go the distance. This makes Haney quite an impressive defensive fighter, very similar to Floyd Mayweather Jr., but with a completely different style. One of his biggest highlights aside from the Garcia controversy is his victory over Vasyl Lomachenko. The fight was entertaining, and both contestants managed to push themselves to the limits. So his stamina and ability to endure these longer bouts is sure to play into his favor as the fight reaches the latter rounds. On the other hand, Ramirez will certainly try to bring the fight to an abrupt end and stop Haney as soon as possible. Ramirez lost 2 fights in his last 5, both being losses by a unanimous decision, where he was simply outmatched by his opponents. Ramirez has managed to win a couple of fights via decision, while also recently stopping Richard Comey in 2023 with an 11th round knockout. This indicates that Ramirez definitely has the appetite for pushing fights to the final round, and he can put in the effort to win via decision. Problem is that this hasn't favored him as much as it has been benefiting Haney in the last few years. If we're to judge by recent fights only, and discount the Garcia knockout over Haney, the recent history of these 2 fighters clearly puts the advantage in Ramy's corner. Another distinct difference, which could be telling, is that Haney hasn't fought in almost a year. Ramirez is far better in this regard, with his most recent fight being just over 5 months ago. But this doesn't necessarily become a disadvantage, and the extra time for training and recovery could mean that he's in far better shape when the fight takes place on May 2nd. Judging by recent fights, Haney might have the edge. But what does the tail of the tape say? The first and most notable difference between the 2 is certainly the age. One fighter is in his mid-20s, whereas the other is currently in his early 30s. But at 32 years old, Ramirez has proven that he can still hang in there with some of the younger boxers. Currently, Haney has an unblemished record of 31-0. Ramirez is currently 29-2, taking both his losses in the last few fights. This could potentially mean that age is finally catching up with the 32-year-old. In terms of the stats, Haney stands 5 foot 9 inches tall with a reach just shy of 71 inches. Ramirez is 5 foot 10 and has a reach of about 72 inches, which does mean that the underdog will have a very slight advantage when it comes to throwing down in the ring. But neither fighter is a true knockout boxer. Haney has only knocked out 15 of his 31 opponents, giving him a 48% knockout rate, whereas Ramirez has a 62% knockout rate. This is much lower in comparison to both headline fights. Both Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero have knocked out at least 80% of their opponents. The real difference comes in when looking at styles. Haney has a very orthodox style, which makes him a natural boxer. He might not have the same aggression as someone like Garcia, but he can easily ride out the rounds and take the fight to a decision. Ramirez, on the other hand, is a little bit different and tends to put more pressure on his opponents to ensure that they make mistakes. He's also considered an iron-willed fighter who doesn't have the ability to give up. This will definitely make a massive difference if the fight goes the distance. Finally, it's important to look at what emotions are currently driving this fight, and who is adding fuel to the fire, and why. In terms of the drama, this fight certainly has a lot of it. Fans will definitely find themselves hooked into the storylines and narratives that are about to be unraveled in the lead-up. First of all is the recent fight between Haney and Garcia. The fight, which ended in a lot of controversy, has been a major talking point. Garcia got the initial win, knocking Haney down 3 times. However, the result would later be reversed when it was revealed that Garcia had tested positive for banned substances. But even before the fight, Haney felt done. Garcia came in overweight, which automatically made it a non-title bout. Moreover, Gervonta Davis should have also fought Haney earlier. He declined the bout, citing issues of biased judging if the fight was to be held in Saudi Arabia. Given the fact that Haney likes to outlast his opponents, this could have possibly been another controversial decision. All of this might feel like a weight hanging over the head of Devin Haney. Many fans believe that Garcia would have knocked him out anyway, despite the use of banned PEDs. Haney obviously refutes this and cites various reasons, including the fact that Garcia didn't make weight initially as a reason for this. The fact of the matter remains that Garcia floored Haney 3 times, and this is what's in the back of fans' minds. Oscar de la Hoya also threw more fuel on the fire, suggesting that it's too soon for Haney to take on a fight after his recent demolition by Garcia. This sparked some frustration when he mentioned Haney might doubt his own resilience. On top of this, Ramirez also has a bit of controversy heading into this bout. Ramirez recently took an unexpected loss in his bout with Barboza. He cited his inability to make weight at 140 pounds as the main reason for his poor performance during the fight. Another point of note is that Ramirez has been advised that he should move up to 147, but had stayed at 140 for longer than he was supposed to. Now, at 147, he might be in far better shape and comfortable when stepping into the ring on May 2nd. All of this has fueled a lot of debate between fans and even experts, but as of this video, the odds seem firmly in the favor of Haney. Many expect the undefeated fighter to once again push the fight to the latter rounds, and this might possibly lead to another victory via decision. So, what do the experts think? With the fight still a fair way off, a lot of opinions are running around. From reputable boxing websites giving their thoughts on the betting odds indicating that Haney has an 85% chance of winning the bout, there are a lot of opinions. The age gap has also come under scrutiny. Despite Ramy being a top fighter for most of his career, he's been slowing down since turning 30. Both of his recent losses came as the American aged and could be an indication that he is slowing down. With Haney still comfortably in his mid-20s and a natural tactician in the ring, he'll likely focus on using this to his advantage. Both fighters are making a big career move to the welterweight division and will be eyeing the Garcia-Romero fight. This will likely be the opponent for whoever wins, with the welterweight title on the line. Finally, there's one more thing that could drastically change the outcome of this bout. If Ramirez manages to regain some of his form and find 147 more comfortable, he could perhaps cause an upset. If this happens, you can be sure that the world will have mixed reactions. It could also cause further controversy and build up to a decent angle between Garcia and Ramirez if both emerge victorious. Garcia will claim that he's the one who ended the winning streak of Haney. However, the official records will surely credit this victory to Ramirez. A small thing like this could create a good narrative down the line, and perhaps lead to a massive showdown between Ramirez and Garcia. Naturally, we'll have to wait and see, and everyone will have their own opinions. As of this video, there's no indication that Ramirez will win. It's more likely that Haney will extend his undefeated record in this bout. But what do you think? Let us know in the comment section below.